we can do our work. Okay. So position of elements in the periodic table. Modern periodic table has 18 vertical columns known as groups and 7 horizontal rows known as periods. You can have a look on periodic table and you can see that 18 vertical columns are there. That means 18 groups are there. At the same time, 7 periods are also there. Okay. Groups in the periodic table signify an identical property of the element. Groups in the periodic table related to valence electrons of the element. Or in other way, we can say that groups in the periodic table is directly related to outermost electronic configuration of the element. Okay, that is outermost electrons. Oh, so let us think about how can you find out group number. This part is very important. So try to understand. What do you mean by valence electron? Electrons present in the outermost shell of the atom. If number of valence electrons are 1 or 2, so number of group number is number of valence electrons. So I will give example. So simultaneously you can write on your copy. For example, sodium. Atomic number of, okay, you want page number. I'll tell you the page number. Wait, page number 86. It is on page number 86. And here we are discussing without periodic table. Suppose this conceptual question may comes in the examination. So how to answer the question, how to identify the location of elements in the periodic table, that we are going to learn now. Okay. For that we need only atomic number. So that we will practice now. So here we are taking the example sodium. Sodium atomic number 11. So all of you write electronic configuration. Electronic configuration is 281. That means first shell K shell has 2 electrons, second shell L has 8 electrons, and last shell M shell has 1 electron. So outermost shell has 1 electron. So group number of sodium is 1. Second example you can put magnesium. Atomic number of magnesium is 12. So electronic configuration is 282. So in this case, number of valence electron is 2. So the group number of magnesium is also 2. So this is the first part, first 2 groups in the periodic table. Okay. Now you come to the next category. If number of valence electrons are more than 2, then what will be the group number of elements? Here we can follow a simple rule. And the rule is if the number of valence electrons is more than 2 and less than 8. Or simply we can say that if number of valence electrons are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this case, the simple rule to find out the group number of the element is number of valence electrons plus 10. Simply we can add number 10 along with valence electrons. This indicates the group number of the element. What is the need of adding 10? What is the logic behind adding 10? So look at the periodic table. So you can see first periodic table, first 2 element, group 1, group 2. Then there is a gap. And count the group. How many groups are there? 1, 2, 3,
10.
4, 5. Right. Very good, Meg. 10 are there. After that, the next group, borrowed family start. Very good, Ashna. This is the way you have to answer the question in this virtual class. Very good. Keep it up, Ashna. You can convey it to through chat box, because this is the way we can maintain the discipline. Okay, very good. So when we focus on boron family, boron in between boron family and alkaline earth metal, there are 10 groups. These 10 groups of elements are known under the name transition elements. Okay, so because of these 10 groups, we are adding the number 10. Now, let us take another example under this category. For example, let, let us take the element X with atomic number 15. Atomic number 15. Write down the electronic configuration of the element. Try to write. First shell 2, second shell 8, third shell 5. 3 shells are there. So, okay. So, 2, 8, 5. Outermost shell has 5 electrons. So, in this case, group number of the element is 10 plus 5. Scandium is not coming under that category. In the case of scandium, another rule is there. Because in that category, the group number is mentioned as B. You can see that. Third B, fourth B, fifth B, seventh B. Like this it is mentioned. So B stands for transition elements. Okay. So this is, they are not known under the category representative elements. So we are focusing only on representative elements. Representative elements belongs to only 8 groups. Saurav, is it clear to you? Saurav, we are focusing only on representative elements. Representative elements means alkali metal group 1, alkaline earth metal group 2. Then comes 13th group element boron family, 14th group carbon family, 15th group nitrogen family, 16th group chalcogens, 17th group halogens, 18th group noble gas. So we are focusing on this only. So this rule is valid for only representative elements. These all elements are coming under the category representative element. Is it clear? You can on your mic. Okay. Okay. Now in this case, the outermost shell has 5 electrons. So what is the group number of the element? The group number of the element will be 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. Very good, Ashna. 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. So that means this element belong to the category 15th group. Okay. Now try to solve another question I will give to you without the help of periodic table. So you simply write atomic number. I will tell you the atomic number. Right? Atomic number of the element is 9. Try to find out its group number. Communicate your answer through chat box. Atomic number 9. Which group this element belongs? Very good, Saurabh. Very good, Ishika. Ashna, very good. Mohammed. Isaac, very good. Kartikeya, very good. Mitushi, Jatin, very good. Anmol, good. Sachi, very good. So the answer is 17. Very good. Simple. 2, 7 configuration. 10 plus 7. 2, 7 configuration may have. 2, 7 is the configuration because atomic number 9. So the electronic configuration is 2, 7. So here the rule is add 10 along with the number of electrons present in the outermost shell. So 10 plus 7 is equal to 70. So I think this part is clear to all. Okay, now let us come to the next topic. How to find out period number of the element. So right in your copy you mentioned that period number, period number, period number. Okay. How to find out period number of the element, in which period the element belongs. Okay. In this case, again, we can depend on the same property, electronic configuration. Okay. So, number of elements in the periods based on the number of electrons present in various shells. So I will make it clear. Period number of the element is decided by its number of shells. How will we get number of shells? With the help of atomic number. So with the help of atomic number, first we will write the electronic configuration. Then after finding the electronic configuration, count the number of shells. So that number of shells denotes the period number of the element. Okay, period number. So we can simply write period number is equal to number of main energy levels. Period number of the element is equal to main energy level of the element. Main energy level. Main energy level means number of shells. Okay. Now let us make a trial. So write down the first question. Atomic number of an element is 19, 19. Atomic number of an element is 19, 19. How to find out period number of the element? So all of you can write now. Atomic number 19? No. No, Karthikeya, it is wrong. Find out that. Write down the configuration. The rest of the students, the answer is correct. Tanya, Mitushi, Ashna, Ishika, correct. Okay. Now, Karthikeya, you have corrected it. Very good. Very good. So simply, I'll tell you once. The electronic configuration is 2881. Correct? Okay. Octet rule we will discuss in today's class. Okay. No need to bother about that. Karthikeya, okay, I'll tell you octet rule, no problem. So the configuration is 2881. So the number of main energy levels are 4. So that means period number of the element is 4. Right, another example, atomic number of the element is 16. 16. Find out the period number of the element. This time, all of you will try to write the answer in chat box. Tanya. Very good, Tanya. Jatin, Ashna, correct. Kartikeya, Isaac, correct. Mitushi, Ishika, correct. Saurav, correct. Sachi, also correct. Mehak, very good, correct. Shubhi, Keshav, Yuvraj, Simon, Anmol, Sakshi, all the answers are correct. 3. How will we get the answer? Very simple. Atomic number is 16. So the configuration 286. So outermost shell has outermost shell is 6 electron, so it belongs to 16th group, and there are 3 main energy levels, 3 shells. So the period number of this element is 3. Okay, I hope this topic is clear to you. Okay, now we will switch over to another topic. So let us think about the next topic. Periodic properties. Which are the periodic properties? First periodic property we have discussed. First periodic property is valency. Second periodic property is size of the element. And third one is metallic and non-metallic property. So valency and octet rule, we will, radius is same as atomic size. Okay. So let us first think of valency as a periodic property. There we can include octet rule also. So for that, I want to share the screen. So wait for 1 minute, and Saurav, you can navigate me. Okay. I will not be there to see you. Okay. So let us think. Now, am I audible, Saurav? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. It will take hardly 1 minute.
we have seen some
Screen is visible, Saurav? 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 Saurav, are you there?
important properties related to atoms.
Saurav?
Yes, ma'am.
Screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it audible? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I will start.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let us think about valency and octet rule. So this slide has all the points.
Like their electronic configuration, atomic number, mass number, etc. We'll now see some other important properties like valency and octet rule. Let's see what they are. The outermost shell of an atom is known as its valence shell, and all the electrons that are present in this shell are known as valence electrons. So for any atom, say in this case,
if you want to take this definition, you can take the definition. Okay. I will hold it for 1 minute. Valence shell, valence electrons.
मैम ये लैग हो रहा है वीडियो.
Video lag हो रहा. Now I am in the pose. I am keeping it in the pose position. It is not on. Okay.
नहीं मैम
मैम
पहले हो रहा
नहीं,
था
मैम नहीं हो रहा, नहीं हो रहा.
अभी
नहीं
नहीं
हो रहा है.
पहले.
हाँ मैंने. हाँ ठीक है. अभी नहीं है ना. ठीक है. When there will be problem, we will sort it out. No need to bother about that. Okay.
this atom has two shells. So the second shell is its valence shell. It has 4 electrons. So these electrons are known as its valence electrons. Similarly, this atom has 3 shells. So the third shell, which is the outermost shell, is known as valence shell. And this has only 1 electron in the valence shell. So this 1 electron is known as its valence electron. An atom X has electronic configuration 2881. The number of valence electrons in the atom X is equal to, we know that the valence electrons are the number of electrons which are present in the outermost shell or the valence shell. This electronic configuration means 2 electrons are present in the K shell, 8 in the L shell, again 8 in the M shell, and 1 in the N shell. So the N shell is the outermost shell of this atom X. The outermost shell has 1 electron. So the number of valence electrons in the atom X is equal to 1, as seen from the electronic configuration. 8 electrons in the valence shell is the most stable arrangement of an atom. This is known as the octet rule. It holds for all atoms. Whenever any atom has 8 electrons in the valence shell, that is the most stable.
You can write this statement of octet rule. Kartikeya. 8 electrons in the valence shell.
मैम मैम ये मैम पता था मैम, वो मैम उस समय भूल गया था मैम, मतलब जल्दबाजी में
Okay.
कर लिए थे.
Okay. Now is it clear to you?
यस मैम.
Okay.
Stable arrangement for that particular atom. So let's see these cases. So all these atoms, they have 8 electrons in the valence shell. This atom, helium, it only has 2 electrons. So when it occupies these 2 electrons, this system is known as a duplet. And even this is a stable configuration. So for all the remaining atoms, whenever there are 8 electrons in the outermost shell, this arrangement is known as octet. And it is observed that noble gases are those elements that usually follow this system of octet. That is, all the noble gases, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, they all have 8 electrons in the valence shell. The only exception is helium, as it follows a duplet. So the noble gases, they have 8 electrons in the valence shell. These are also known as inert gases. Because we know.
So you can mention this name also. Noble gases can also known under the name inert gases.
Ma'am, what is
But
the meaning of inert gases?
inert means unreactive. Unreactive. Unreactive means see, their outermost shell has how many electron? 8 electron. 8
Yes,
electron
ma'am.
in outermost shell means they are stable. Okay. If the why the atoms are enter into chemical reaction? Gaining 8 electron in its outermost shell. They already have 8 electron in its outermost shell. So that's why they have the
Stable.
least tendency. But recently, some of the noble gases like xenon and krypton, even argon compounds are formed. Okay, xenon fluorides are there, krypton oxides are there, and even argon also. From argon also one oxide is also prepared in the laboratory. So that they are no longer considered as inert gas. So nowadays the word has least significance. Which one? Inert. Because now few elements under the same category, they react forming compounds. Okay, so try to avoid the word inert instead of noble gas. It is better to use in noble gas, not inert. Inert means they are chemically inert, unreactive. Still, some of the elements form compounds. So that's why there is no significance for the word inert. But the term inert stands for unreactive. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us continue. Okay.
No, whenever any atom has 8 electrons in the valence shell, that is the most stable arrangement for that atom. So all these noble gases, they have 8 electrons in the valence shell. That is, they have the most stable configuration. So they do not participate in chemical reactions. And that is why they are known as inert gases. So all atoms, they try to achieve this noble gas configuration to become stable. For example, sodium. It has the electronic configuration 281. Now to gain stability, that is to follow the octet rule, it can either gain 7 electrons, by that it will have the electronic configuration 288, or it can lose this electron, so it will have the electronic configuration 28. Gaining 7 electrons is very difficult as compared to losing 1 electron. So it prefers to lose this electron, and that is why it tries to attain the nearest noble gas configuration of neon, which has the configuration 28. Similarly, chlorine has an electronic configuration 287. Now, it can either lose these 7 electrons or it can gain 1 electron. Again, losing 7 electrons is very difficult as compared to gaining 1 electron. That is why it tries to attain the noble gas configuration of argon, which has a configuration 288. So it tries to gain 1 extra electron. So we have sodium, which has 1 extra electron in the valence shell, and we have chlorine. It is 1 short of electron. So this sodium, it gives the extra electron to chlorine. By doing that, now sodium has the electronic configuration 28, chlorine has the electronic configuration 288. Both of them satisfy the octet rule, and so both gain stability. So this is how atoms gain stability, by losing and receiving electrons. Let's take another example. Here we have a magnesium atom. It has an electronic configuration 282. Now it has 2 extra electrons. To gain stability or to follow the octet rule, it can either gain 6 electrons or it can lose 2 electrons. We know gaining 6 electrons is not easy. So it tries to lose these 2 electrons. Each chlorine atom is short of 1 electron. So it gives 1 electron to this chlorine atom and it gives 1 electron to this chlorine atom. By doing that, it gets an electronic configuration 28. Each chlorine atom gets an electronic configuration 288, and hence all of them are stabilized.
You can see that along with magnesium. Now After losing 2 electron, you can see that one positive sign is there, 2 plus. 2 plus indicates that 2 electron has lost. What do you mean by 2 plus there? As we know that atom has equal number of protons and electrons. Okay, so magnesium originally has 12 electrons and protons, magnesium atom. So when it lose 2 electron, protons remains there in the nucleus. It never changes. So only number of electrons reduced by 2. So 2 protons are excess in that particular atom after losing 2 electrons. So 2 plus means it has 2 extra positive charge, which say. Sorry, you want to say something?
मैम एक चीज पूछूं?
मैम वो पॉजिटिव चार्ज एटम हो गया ना मैम इसमें, क्योंकि मतलब उसके क्योंकि पॉजिटिव चार्ज ज्यादा हो गया उसके अंदर.
हाँ, so that means
Ma'am?
it is positive charge ion. हाँ कार्तिकेय.
मैम उसमें नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स और नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स अगर सेम नहीं होंगे तो वो स्टेबल रहेगा क्या एटम?
No, atom is neutral in nature. We know that atom is neutral.
तो मैं मतलब
Okay.
उनके नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन और इलेक्ट्रॉन चेंज हो सकते हैं?
It may converted into ions, either positive charge ion or negative charge ion. Okay, by doing this, for doing this, see now they can gain electron or they can lose electron. Okay, when an atom lose electron, it gain positive charge because they have extra protons. When an atom gain electron, for example, look at chlorine, Cl minus. Chlorine atom has 7 electron in the outermost shell. So in order to attain stability, it need one more electron. So that electron taken from magnesium. So now presently number of electron increased by 1 unit. So compared to proton in chlorine atom, 1 electron is excess. One negative charge along with the chlorine implies the same. Clear? Is it clear? Okay. So now we will continue.
So atoms, in this case, one species or one atom gives electrons, another species or another atom, they receive electrons. And by doing them, both are happy. This is a case, say two people are sitting on a boat. One of them has extra number of balls, that is more number of balls as compared to the other person. Suppose the boat starts sinking. So they panic. So by passing one extra ball to the other person, they prevented the boat from sinking. So one person was happy because he gave away the extra ball, and the other person was happy because he received the extra ball, and hence the boat did not sink. This is the same case as in atoms. To gain stability, sometimes atoms lose electrons and sometimes they gain electrons. And by doing that, they become stabilized or happy. But gaining or losing electrons is not always the case. For example,
okay, so this is all about the valency. Is it clear to all? Is it clear?
Yes, I'm clear.
Valency. Okay. Now we will move to the next periodic property, and that is atomic size. Saurav, screen is visible?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
this is the modern periodic table. 118 elements have been arranged in this table in a very systematic manner. There are some properties related to these elements which define the way in which these elements react. Since the elements are arranged in a very well organized manner, therefore these properties also follow some particular trends. Let's see how.
All of you, please try to off your mic.
One important property of the elements is their atomic size. The size of an atom is also measured in terms of its radius, so it's known as the atomic radius. It is calculated as the distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell. So this distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell is known as the atomic radius of the atom. Sometimes atoms do not exist independently. They form molecules. In that case, we take the internuclear distance. That is the distance between the nucleus of the two atoms, and this distance is then halved. So this distance then gives us the atomic radius of one particular atom. At times, one molecule consists of more than two atoms. There can be 4, 5, or 6 atoms forming a molecule. Even in that case, we take 2 atoms at a time, calculate the internuclear distance, and half the internuclear distance is the atomic radius for the particular atom.
So here the explanation is given to polyatomic molecules or diatomic molecules. You know that non-metals exist in the form of molecules, not in the form of atoms. So like hydrogen. Hydrogen exists in the form of H2, not H. And even oxygen. Oxygen also exists in the form of O2, not O. So in this slide, it is given like this only, internuclear distance. So internuclear distance is 4. And here you can see that 2 atoms are there, 2 atoms. Suppose if we consider hydrogen atom, first one start for first hydrogen atom, second sphere stands for second hydrogen atom. And in this case, internuclear distance is taken for considering molecular size of the atom, molecular. So here we are not considering this. We have to focus on only one particular point, and that is atomic size. So atomic size is decided by atomic radius. Atomic radius is the distance between center of the nucleus and the outermost shell where the last electron is present. Okay? It is the distance between center of the nucleus and the outermost shell where the last electron is present. Okay? So this topic we can avoid. It is simply extra only for non-metals. Okay, because you know that in some cases atomicity is 4. For example, phosphorus. Phosphorus formula is P4, atomicity 4. In the case of sulfur, sulfur is octatomic. So in that case, atomicity is 8. Okay.
Ma'am, ये सब trends है ना?
We see that oxygen rise.
This is not a trend. This is simply atomic size. Okay, we will discuss only the trends in periodic property. Okay, these are all introductory part. Okay, this is some extra information related to the topic. You can understand. These all are very simple.
Is right to nitrogen in the periodic table. What do you think? Is the size of oxygen atom bigger than nitrogen atom, smaller than nitrogen atom, or is it equal to nitrogen atom? Let's try to answer this. We know they're lying in the same period. What happens across a period? The elements are arranged in increasing order of atomic number. So going from left to right in a period, the atomic number increases.
So from here onwards, it is important for us. Okay. Along the period, what will happen? Along the period. Along the period means along the horizontal rows. So along the period, what will happen? Atomic number increases. You can look at your periodic table so that you can understand it very clear. You can understand it properly. Okay. Atomic number increases when we are moving from left to right. This is the first point. Second point is number of proton increases. So when atomic number increases, so obviously number of protons as well as number of electron increases. Okay.
Ma'am, हर period में same number of valence shells होते ना?
Period. Obviously. Number of shells are same. Number of shells are same. Okay. I will give the note. No need to bother about that. Okay. I will give the note, short notes. Okay. So you just listen. These are some explanations.
We know atomic number is the number of protons. So the number of protons also increase. Nuclear charge. The nucleus consists of neutrons and protons. Neutrons are neutral, that is, they have no charge. So the charge of the nucleus depends on the charge of the protons. More the number of protons, more is the nuclear charge. Therefore, going from left to right in a period, as the number of protons increase, therefore the nuclear charge also increases. This leads to greater force of attraction on the outermost shell. The increased nuclear charge tends to pull the outermost shell closer to itself, and in doing so, the atomic size of the atom decreases. Let's see this pictorially. This is a particular period.
So this is the period. Which period you can understand that? You can tell the period number. What is the period number?
Second.
Say. Okay, very good. Period number is 2. Look at all the cases, electronic configuration, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7. So number of main energy level 2. So that means all these elements belong to the period 2. Okay, now listen.
The variation in the atomic size is true for all the periods in the periodic table. So when we move from left to right in a period, the number of shells remains the same because we know that the period number is equal to the number of shells. So if we talk of the second period, it has 2 shells. So as we move from left to right in a period, the number of protons is increasing, the nuclear charge increases. This tends to pull the outermost electrons or the outermost shell closer to itself. And in doing so, the atomic size decreases. Let's get back to our question. So is oxygen smaller, bigger, or equal to the nitrogen atom? So we see that across a period, the atomic size decreases. So the size of oxygen is smaller than nitrogen. So oxygen atom is smaller than nitrogen atom. What do you think happens as we move from top to bottom in a group?
So this we will discuss in the next class only. Okay. So in this particular point, you can summarize the point in this way. All of you can write.
मैम
हाँ.
मैम ये वाला टॉपिक और बता दीजिएगा मैम.
हाँ, I'll tell. I'll explain in simple words. Write, all of you try to write it down. Okay, note it down. First of all, across the period, I will come back. Okay, I will stop sharing and I will come back. Across the period, written across the period, as atomic number increases, number of protons as well as number of electrons increases, but number of energy levels remains same. As a result, nuclear force of attraction increases from left to right across the period, consequently atomic size decreases. Okay, so only these 2 sentences you have to learn. Okay, this is more than sufficient. Second, as any other can repeat it. Saurav, have you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Read it.
Ma'am, the whole sentence or the second one only?
Second one.
As a result, nuclear force of attraction increases from left to right across the period. Consequently, atomic size decreases.
Correct. Nuclear force of attraction increases. Nuclear force of attraction means what? Nucleus pull the electrons towards itself. Okay, pulling of electron towards itself. Imagine when pulling of electron takes place, atomic size will decrease. So that is why across the period from left to right, atomic size decreases. Okay, we will conclude it now here. So, and we will continue in the next class. So next class, I will conduct the test regarding periodic table. Okay, clear? Is it clear to all?